All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another wonderful Swass-Cast. And here we are in the secret hidden cave of the secret hidden Matt cave.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. And we got the guys, special guests as the guys from Secret Identity Podcast, Brian and Matt.
Hello. Yo word.
And then we got Keith.
Yo word.
Yo word.
Keith.
Showing the Dio heavy metal horns.
I like that. Throwing down gang signs.
That's
good.
it.
And this is a super Marvel team up. In today's Swass-Cast, we're going to do something you guys probably haven't ever thought about. Or maybe thought about it, but never tried to talk about it. Super caricatures symbols. So it can be a villain, could be a superhero, but a comic character or whatever, but a symbol that you love. And what makes a great symbol? For me, a great symbol is something very simple, but it commands a lot. Hence, the Fantastic Four right there. We'll see if it makes a list.
I'm gonna. Well, you know what?
see.
Why don't we start off because that is on my list.
Oh, ooh, okay.
That's
So
my
now
word of the
Whoa.
show. I'll start with my number 3 symbol, and that is the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic symbol.
I probably had 10 that I could think of off the top of my head that I really wanted to do. But one of the reasons that I love the Fantastic Four, especially now, if you're not reading the current Fantastic Four by Hickman, you are losing out because it's Marvel's great family. And what I love about the Fantastic Four, even though people might look at the logo and say it's a stupid number, and then what's iconic about that is for everything that it stands for. The fact that they are a family, the fact that it's about unity, the fact that it is about a team.
That there's 4 of them.
And just that symbol, whenever you see them, like that just gets me every time. And there's actually a great preview coming out of San Diego Comic-Con for Spider-Man. The art that they released, like for things that are coming up the next year in Spider-Man
Great,
storyline.
you dated this podcast.
And so it's anytime in 2010 or 2011. So, but there's this great silhouetted cover of him with a 4 on his Spider uniform, and it's awesome. And to me, it's the one thing that always makes me think of Team, even more than the Avengers, even more than the Super Friends. When I see 4, that is Marvel's first family, and for me, as a huge Marvel fan, the Fantastic Four. That is iconic for me. So my team of all teams is the Fantastic Four.
And who created that symbol?
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby. King Kirby.
Simple can be awesome. And
Simple is awesome.
Simple logo that is absolutely awesome. It's like a shining beacon against evil. When they see that 4, they're like,
Crap, there's 4 of them here.
All right,
biggest family of all time.
All right, I'm going to go with another team symbol.
Okay.
And this is one of a book that I've kind of just started reading. I've never been a big fan. Legion of Superheroes.
Oh.
And their logo, the cool thing is, and this is probably what I like the most about it, is that you have 5,000 hot girl, hot guy superheroes, all with different logos, but they all have the flight ring, because that's where the logo is. It's the L with stars around it.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool.
Yeah.
I see that. I've got a plastic Legion flight ring up there somewhere. And I don't like the book as much as I like the logo.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that makes a good logo is if you can just draw it on the floor. You can just draw it on a piece of paper and hand it to a kid. Will that kid go, that is cool? Or will they just look at it? Like, as much as I love Captain America, because Cap is the greatest hero of all time, it's a star. I'm going to draw a star, and people are going to go, okay, that's a star.
Right.
They're not going to equate it.
Right.
Even if I said I'm a comic book fan, they may not look at that and go, I'm kind of not getting
Well, sometimes with Cap, you get like the star and the shield. And it's funny, I was wearing my Captain America symbol shirt the other day, and the lady goes,
But you dressed up today. That's great.
But she goes again to me. She goes, is that a Target? So, okay. Keith, go ahead. Number 3.
I'm gonna go. I kind of like the character. I think he's all right, but I think his logo's great. Iron Fist with the dragon.
Oh, the dragon with the tattoo.
The way it goes across and down, like almost like a cross. I think that's a great logo.
Well, the tattoo on his chest, right, of the dragon.
Yeah.
Because when he clocks you in the face, that's the last thing you're going to see.
Well, and he's really had a resurgence over the past 3 or 4 years in the Marvel universe.
Oh,
where,
yeah,
it definitely has come back big time, and now he plays a bigger role.
I like
he's
him,
in
but
Shadowland
I've never
right now.
loved him. I
Yeah.
never.
But it always was a cool symbol.
He was always
The series
cool
that Fraction
looking,
and Brubaker did you read that?
I read some
oh,
of that. Yeah,
man, what an awesome
I had a
series.
Slurpee cup with Iron Man and Power Fist on it.
Yeah.
Because I kept pulling them out trying to get a Captain America.
God, you remember when those were at 7-Eleven?
Remember when you used to peel off the bottom and the disc would come out that was the 3D thing that
Yep.
you could do each way and it had the superhero symbols on it?
7-Eleven. We could take a walk.
We
and
could
go
do
to
a
7-Eleven,
Swass-Cast on
but there's
7-Eleven.
nothing good there.
The cool things at
There was no 7-Eleven
That was my
around me, so when I used to see those ads, I was like,
Well, you know what we used to get?
We
Our
didn't
big
have
thing.
them around
A big thing that Brian and I used to have, we've never spoken about this, when we would get our TV guides, we would see like, oh, look at the cool cartoon. TV 38. What is TV 38? We didn't have that in Connecticut.
No, we had Fox 20. It wasn't before Fox was even there. It was WTXX.
WTXX with TX Critter.
Yep.
It was like this brown thing.
WTXX was the local station that we used to get
Critter,
like
It was like, he looked like Elf.
Robotech, Voltron, like all the cool cartoons of that
Weren't on
time
that.
were on WTXX.
Do you remember the interactive video game thing?
All right, now we got to go back to the symbols. We
Yes,
can talk
with the laser tag.
And you had you were in the phone. This is great though. I got to go with this one.
All right, let's.
This is, you used to call up. You'd call up the station, and they had like ColecoVision, where it would be some space battle, and you got you got ships flying around.
Oh my god!
Two targets.
I kind of remember that.
You had 2 targets, and you were on the phone, and you're going pow, and as you yelled,
Yes!
wow,
Oh my god!
they shot the thing.
Yeah,
They
I
shot it,
remember
and you're like, so all you did is you're
Hope it
watching.
wasn't like $10.99 a
I
minute.
kind of remember
Probably
that.
was, but you're watching for like 1 minute. You're hearing a bunch of kids that you don't. Steve from
and you always
Cromwell
like
and
that
Terry
kid's
from
stupid.
Waterbury.
How did he miss that?
Right.
Pow, 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 pow.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
And they won. They would
Sounds
win like
They
a,
win prizes.
yeah,
It
you win
sounds
like
so
a,
70s though.
you won passes to Riverside.
Yep.
It was on
You
like around
won-
with Bozo and all that.
Yeah, you won. You could go to Lake Compounce.
Lake compounds. Yeah,
So those of you who are not local, you may have no idea, but it seemed
Oh
pretty
my
fun.
God,
All right, let's go back to symbols because I would love to know what the critter symbol was.
Brown fur.
Okay, my number 3. Gotta go with this. Love the character, but I always loved the symbol. The Bob Kane Joker card symbol. With the Bob, you got the Joker,
yeah.
and he has
Awesome.
like the jester cap, that one.
Yep, yep.
But the Bob, the classic one they use.
That's good.
That's one of my favorite symbols because I think Bob Kane's the greatest Batman artist ever. But like I love that card, but it always when they showed the Bob Kane Joker.
They still use that now.
Yeah.
Like when you see in the back cave, you see the big card hanging up. They will still use that image,
Yeah.
which is great.
Fantastic. Number 2.
Number 2, see, when we first started making these lists, I thought we were just doing superheroes. So I am bumping one of my lists to honorable mention, and I'm going to throw in a villain here because it's probably my favorite villain logo of all time, Cobra.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
good.
good.
Cobra is such an iconic, like G.I. Joe's logo is terrible, but Cobra's logo is where it's at. And so it was always this conflict for me because I would root for Cobra because they had a better logo and they had better uniforms and they had better
Yeah,
stuff. But
better
I'll tell you,
everything.
Hasbro and the guys behind the toys and everything, talk about marketing genius. Even today, like that Cobra logo is still one of the most iconic. That is straight up evil. And man, Cobra Commander, like all those guys.
Do you think it's
just
better than the Hydra symbol? Because
Yes,
the Hydra
I do.
symbol was cool
The
too.
Hydra symbol is awesome, but for me, like when I think of bad guys, it is the Cobra logo. Like that logo is just freaking awesome. So for villains, without a doubt, that immediately tops my list of villain logos. And even today, just seeing that logo, that's one of the reasons I still collect the G.I. Joe comics is just because of Cobra.
That's a great one.
Fantastic. I feel. Matt, you're number 2.
Superman Blue. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I'm
like,
kidding, I'm
I was
kidding.
like, I didn't register it.
I was gonna say, Lord have mercy on your soul.
I've got to go with what's on my left arm, and that's the Batman logo. And it's going to be the
Which
one that
one?
came
Which
out
one?
with the
The
TV,
yellow?
the yellow, where I've got the yellow around it. If you can see, I don't want to flex because I don't want to hurt anybody over here. I don't want to wake up the garter snakes.
Right?
That
What are
logo,
any guns going off down here?
that logo right there is
Not as cobras, but as pythons.
Right.
the garter snakes.
007. That's a
That
throwback to a
logo
previous
right there.
Swass-Cast, in case you missed it.
That is comic books to me. I mean, when I first saw that, I'm like, man, I wish the comic books were cool because I really want to like that. And it was the best part was about 2 weeks after I got the tattoo, they went back to the old just black.
Yeah.
And the reason, obviously, you know the story of why they had to do that was when Batman came on TV, you can't copyright a picture of a bat, but you can copyright a picture of a bat with a gold circle around it. That's how that all happened.
Oh.
And then during the 70s and 80s,
Never knew that.
see, and that's one to grow on.
Yeah.
During the 70s, that's how you distinguished Earth 1 Batman and Earth 2 Batman.
Ah.
So when they teamed up, you're like,
That's good information.
yeah, you'd be reading it going, that's Earth 2 Batman. You know how I know? Not because his ears are a little taller, but because he's only got black on the bat.
Ah.
So there you
All
go.
right, Keith, number 2.
I'm gonna go with another one in the similar vein of Cobra, the Mad logo from Inspector Gadget.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I always thought
And
that
I
that's
always
what.
suspected that that's what Dr. Claus
Yeah,
face
because I
looked
always
like.
wanted to. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, that's got to be what he looks like.
You know what? That is such an underrated cartoon from back in the day. But I would put that right up there with all the superhero cartoons of the day. Inspector Gadget was awesome. Yeah, that was a great. And how the dog was always saving him because he was such a fool.
It's funny. If you look at that, wouldn't be the type of cartoon I would like, but I watched it all the time
It
too.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta. That's
I
another
love
one I
Dr.
get my
Claw.
kids into.
I wanted to see his
Inspector
freaking
Gadget.
face. And remember that there was an episode where there was another Dr. Claw, but he was red, and you didn't never see his face either. And then
Yeah.
something happened, and there's smoke, and they're fighting, and all you just see is these two arms going.
You know what's sad
I
to me?
wanted to see their
It's
faces.
sad to me that there might be kids out there who believe that the only thing that Inspector Gadget ever did was those awful Matthew Broderick movies.
Yeah.
And the guy from 30 Rock.
Oh, French
The guy who
Stewart.
squints a
Well,
lot.
I'll give a symbol to that movie.
Oh,
Wait,
go Gadget glasses!
I'll give a symbol to those movies right there.
Wow.
But the original cartoon was awesome.
And Matthew Broderick is now at home going, I really like that guy till he just flipped me off.
Oh, I love Matthew Broderick. Except for that Godzilla movie, but we won't
Oh,
even
I
talk
see.
about
I
that.
like the Godzilla movies.
All right.
That will cause a fight.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm
Cause a
trying.
fight here.
All right, number 2 for me, iconic. It's like almost like the Batman. Everybody knows, but I just love it so much. It's so simple, so awesome. Represents for me the true superhero, Captain Marvel, Shazam's Thunderbolt.
That's
I thought you were going to say Hulk's chest hair.
No, absolutely. Captain Marvel's. I love the thick Shazam Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
I just think it's better than any Superman. When I see that, I think that is fantastic.
That's a great one.
You know what I did?
Love
When you
Captain
think about that one and the Golden Age Flash logo, it's kind of the same thing. But the reason I never liked the Golden Age Flash logo is that, and this is one of those stupid things that goes on in my head. The bolt of it is tucked into his pants.
Oh yeah.
Like the bolt is blasting something down there, and I never
Or-
liked that.
Showing ladies where the lightning is.
But I tell you, Captain Marvel, Shazam, that
Very
bolt,
good.
fantastic. Number 1.
I have props for my number one.
Nice.
So don't go anywhere.
Okay. While he's going for his props,
Well, I was going to wait till he came back because I was going to go for my prop. All right, but here he comes.
Two props.
Here he comes. Two props.
Okay.
Shakur over here.
So I have
And all his
That was-
notes.
that was
and
pretty
this is
good,
the guy
actually.
that had a girl that doesn't exist as his. As his
I guarantee that my number one is not on anybody else's list.
Okay.
But
Okay.
my number
We'll
one,
see.
everybody's probably saying it's going to be Spider-Man. It is a Spider-Man.
Nope.
But it is
Okay.
the Spider-Man
God.
of 2099, my friends.
Wow.
So I will show you on this wonderful Chris
Let me see what his
Giarusso
logo
sketch.
is.
Was
Look at that.
was cool. I have to admit.
The
Was-
Chris Giarusso sketch I have here, which is probably my favorite sketch of all time that Chris G did for me of that. But even more that I've been saving for years and years and years is the Marvel Universe Toy Biz, right? The Toy Biz Spider-Man 2099. Now, one thing you should know about me is I am not the never removed from box guy. Like all my other Spider figures at home, my 4-year-old has them. They're in the bathtub. They're in the pool. I have no attachment to toys in terms of collecting them. I let my kids play with them and everything. This is the only toy that I own that has not been taken out of the box, and that is the Spider-Man 2099 toy. And boy, was I excited when I found out that the new Spider-Man video game is going to feature the 2099 universe as one of the 4 dimensions that they're going to. But for me, one of the reasons that I glommed on to 2099 was because when I started getting into Spider-Man, I saw the great, amazing Spider-Man His Amazing Friends, so I started reading comic books. Issue number 100 and whatever, I could not get into Spider-Man from ground zero. I couldn't get in from issue number 1. So when the Spider-Man 2099 universe came out, it was a character that I loved. I didn't know at the time it would be a whole different character, but I could get in on the ground floor. So I got into the 2099 universe, and as anybody who listens to our podcast knows, that is my collecting obsession, is to have every 2099 book ever collected. So Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099,
Even
that-
Ravage 2099.
that logo, even Ravage. I have every issue of Ravage 2099, which Stan Lee created specifically for the 2099 universe. So I have almost every 2099 comic ever made, and this particular logo is my favorite of all time. I even have a huge Mike Diodato, and I think it was signed
Peter
by
David.
Peter David.
Yeah, Peter David was the guy
Signed
that
by
wrote
him
it.
and signed
Yeah.
by I think it's Mike Diodato. That I have at home. I have a big poster of it at home.
Oh, I got it for you at oh boy.
Ground Round.
No,
It was at Boston.
We used to get the placemats.
Woolworth.
You took the poster to a Boston comic shop
Yes.
and had it signed for me. And I think I also
Not
brought
Mike
it
Pelletier.
to No. I think I
Ben
also
Franklin's.
I also
Ben.
brought it to a show where Peter David was at and had him sign it as well. So I got $20.99 stuff all in a row. But that is my number one.
The one thing
Icon
when
of
I
all
look
time.
at it, you notice heavily inspired by the Punisher logo.
It is, yeah.
Well,
but
Punisher
it
was huge
Yeah.
at this time.
This was
It's
a
making Spider-Man badass.
This
Like,
was
you
a
know.
Halloween costume that he modified, kind of a Day of the Dead type of thing that he modified for that to make it scarier looking. And I love that.
Now,
Absolutely
Brian, I
love
just
that
want you to,
costume.
since I'm a connoisseur of Marvel memorabilia and stuff, you could open this and buy another one for 50 cents, easy. So, I mean,
He bought that.
Don't-
You know what? He bought
don't-
that one and got a spot for free.
Don't talk about it like that. This is a very high degree of value.
it's not like it's something. You can get it right there.
This
I
is
gotta
the
play
most
it right now.
prized Marvel figure ever, right?
That poor kid only wants to play with that.
Just
thing.
tell
You
me
say
it
no.
is.
Yes, it
I mean, they only made about 70,000 of them.
I mean, come on.
Don't
All
talk
right.
about him like that.
All right, Matt.
All right, I'm not going to go for my prop on this one, but the number one logo of all time.
Why?
Because I'd have to reach over, and I don't want to. I'll
Okay.
just, we'll I don't want to get y'all gooey. The Flash.
Okay.
That lightning bolt with a white circle. There is something about it on that crimson red costume. I love it. When I first started to get into superheroes, I was a war comic kid, and all of a sudden, as the Unknown Soldier got canceled, I'm like, oh, I got to spend my 35 cents somewhere else. So I started trying to look into superheroes, because then I started going to the mystery and the horror comics, and they were all getting canceled. So I had to go to those. The Flash was the one that really stuck out to me because all he did was run. And I was a really fast kid. I ended up being running track in high school.
It
And
sounds like he was collecting during the Wortham days when he was cutting out stuff. So
He
that
was collecting during the Roosevelt days.
the Washington administration.
But yeah,
But I just loved the Flash because all he could do was run. And I used to get so peed off when it would be the Flash versus Superman in a race because I'm looking going, Superman, give him the speed. He's got nothing else.
You know
he
what?
can vibrate through
and he
a
did
wall.
though. He did. He won every time.
Oh, well, you know what? I even have one where
Flash won
they
every
show it at different angles, and it says, "Hey, you can see right there, Flash won." Are you kidding me? From this angle, and then the last panel, fans, you decide who won. No, I don't want to decide. I want you. That's why I paid you the $1 for that extra size tabloid issue,
Look at the
so I could
human.
have somebody do this.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention that because
Amen.
Ross Andrew art.
that's my honorable mention. Is the
That
Flash.
was the second one. That was the second race. I think.
The Flash is my honorable mention because the Flash is my favorite DC superhero of all time, and I am
It's a
right
good
with
logo.
you.
You can't
I
argue that.
loved
It's
the
awesome.
Flash growing up. I hated whenever they even hinted at the fact that Superman might be remotely
Yep.
as fast as the Flash, because in my
Yeah.
mind, the Flash would beat him 20 times over, in any sort of race. So I used to get upset about the same thing. Like, there's no way
But it is established
that
now.
Superman
And
is anywhere
Superman
as
even
fast as
said
the
it to
Flash.
him. I have the trade, and then you can see like the progress. They did it at the starting in the Silver Age that they were even and all that stuff. But then, and as it progressed, Flash won, and then one of the last ones he says that you are the fastest. Like Superman gives it to him.
And I'm a Barry Allen guy. Barry Allen is the way it's at. Now Brian's a Wally West fan,
Yep.
but Barry was my guy. And it's so funny now because when Barry Allen first came out in the 60s and 70s, he was a police scientist, which nobody really cared about. Everybody's like, that's got to be the stupidest thing in the world. He flunked out of like a traffic cop school, so now he's got to do the science thing. Pretty much what police science is now is what CSI is and
Yeah,
all those
it's-
shows.
right,
So
it's all the
forensic
rage.
science. So
Yeah.
everybody loves this. So now all of a sudden Barry, on the Flash book, Barry Allen, Flash, CSI.
Yeah. Dumb.
All right, Keith. Number one symbol.
Alright. This one, they're heroes. They've had comics. I'm gonna go the Ghostbusters logo.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Huge during the 70s. Everybody had the shirt. And think about this: when you see
How do you not recognize?
when
it?
you
Wearing-
see one of those
80s
things,
though, 80s.
80s. What did I say? I didn't say 70s.
We forgive you those slips.
1870s. How many times have you tried to describe what those signs are and said it's the Ghostbuster sign with a cigarette in the middle
Yeah.
for a no smoking sign? I still
And how do
describe
you
it as a
not-
Ghostbuster sign.
You didn't even know what that was until the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's the way I was.
Right.
And how
You
the
didn't know
ghost
what
was
it
hanging.
meant, you
the
know?
ghost was hanging over the
Yeah,
little
it was
cross.
awesome.
A little bit enough.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Who are you gonna call?
Okay, my number one, which is obscure, but I was never gonna get a tattoo of like a superhero thing, but this was something I wanted to get, and this is, I don't know, I just loved it. It was just different, but it was definitely influenced by the Superman S, because he's also a Superman-like character, but Gladiator of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard.
I love Gladiator.
Me too, and just that symbol, that it's almost like a triangle, but that doesn't connect right here.
Not to mention any dude that rocks a mohawk. Like
Mohawks
that guy does.
rule.
love. I wanted that tattoo right here, but with the guns and all.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
ink. Not enough ink in the world for
I
that.
didn't know. In all honesty, I did not want to. It just like I just always loved that symbol. Obviously you can see how like the Superman S is influenced,
Yeah.
but I just think it looks 20 times better. It's so simple.
He's another character who, obviously, because of
Fantastic.
Abnett and Lanning, has gotten a big sort of resurgence in the past couple of years.
It was a
in
Realm of
Marvel
Kings,
U.
right? That
Realm
whole-
of Kings, the whole the Thanos imperative that's going on now, that kind of stuff, the rise and fall of the Shi'ar. He's definitely played a bigger role now.
And you
in
just
Marvel
look
U.
at that symbol. I always loved it. And so your honorable mention was the Flash.
My honorable mention was the Flash. Yep.
And your honorable mention?
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a great one.
simple.
Great.
It's simple. It's a circle with two lines, easy to draw as a little kid. When you're drawing stuff and you're writing on desks and lockers, and you're the only kid that reads comic books in your school, so everybody knows who's doing it.
The same
There you go. I might as well have just wrote, Matt Herring just drew this. Come find him. He's in Miss Wasp's math
You know what
class
logo
right
I
now.
used to draw all the time? Twisted Sister. I kid you not. Twisted Sister.
Which was
the
a
logo
great
I drew all the
logo.
time. Twisted Sister and Striper.
And Kiss.
Oh, Kiss all the time, and I used to do the Doors.
I didn't even like
Remember
Kiss,
how
but I
the
did
Doors
Kiss
logo was?
Oh, I've done. Oh my god.
Because I was
And
the only kid in school that could do the S on the Doors.
And I did the
Twisted
Rolling
Sister, that
Stone
was
symbol, like the lips.
Yeah.
Which Mick Jagger looks at.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so
All right,
Keith.
I have a few actually, and you guys I think will agree with a bunch of these. The original Punisher logo, me and John talked
Yeah.
about it. The one
Where
the
his bullet
teeth
packs
goes
were-
into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
like
bullet
the
yeah,
packs.
the
That's
clips.
unbelievable.
That's such a great like.
Yeah.
BPRD, the hand with the
Very
sword.
nice.
Very good.
Very good.
Oh, not
I-
TCBY, the Taking
No.
Care of Business, Elvis, which is
Or the
I thought you meant
County's
the
Best
yogurt
Yogurt.
place.
Hydra, of course. Hydra's
Hydra's great.
awesome. And then this one, Dr. Manhattan, the circle with the little circle.
Yes.
I
Yep,
thought
that's a
that
good
was
one.
great too.
All right, my honorable mention is something opposite. I love the Flash symbol, but there's something about Reverse Flash. I thought that
Oh,
was
yeah.
And
so.
same thing
Doctors
in Bizarro.
Yeah.
That was going to be
Bizarro
one of mine,
too, but there's something about Reverse Flash. I love Bizarros, but Doctor Zoom.
Yep.
I just love. Even as a kid, I was like, I like them better yellow.
You know,
and the
I did
red.
too.
See, that's
I
why
was like,
too.
because
yellow is a color that's not in a lot of superhero costumes.
and
So
it's so noticeable.
it's like Kid Flash. Kid Flash is the greatest costume of all time because
Oh.
it's got the red with the yellow coming down.
I just loved
Yep.
Dr. Zoom, and it was such a simple villain. Just make him the opposite of Flash, and I was like, even as a kid, I gravitated to that, and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
because I never really cared about Flash, but I like Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
That's why I like Bizarro. Like I love that purple S that was, I don't know what it was. It was just the same thing. The basic. It was like a little kid could make that character.
Cool.
Oh, and like the lightning bolt was
Yeah.
red, like around his belt. I just thought that
Cool.
was fantastic.
One of the coolest things going on right now is that Sterling Gates and Jamal Igle have now introduced Bizarro Supergirl,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that is
Why didn't that happen like
amazing.
20 years ago?
Exactly.
I know.
It's like
How did
Bizarro
they-
Monkey, Bizarro Crypto. Why aren't those things done? It was always Bizarro Lois Lane and Bizarro.
Yeah,
Why not Super? That's like.
I can't believe none of us mentioned for a great logo, Power Girl.
Yeah, right?
Wait, what is her logo?
It's just a
Oh,
big
yeah,
open,
just-
big opening.
That's right.
Which is the one that you got to explain to, like when I have the comics out with the kids and, my wife, and she's like, what is this? She doesn't have a logo because she took it off because she doesn't feel that she belongs to anyone. Are you buying this one or am I going to get punched?
So,
Right.
it's
She's got a cape. Look at her cape.
Voluptuous.
Yeah.
So there we got our comic symbols. We'd love to know what your symbols that you love, and hopefully.
The
But-
Rolling Stone lips.
the tours, because you can do that. That's fantastic. But tell us symbols that you love. The simpler I think a logo is, the more impact it has.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
what was a swastika? Look at that, though, as a symbol. Like it was just so simple, but
Think about sports logos and how those are ingrained in you so much that you
Let me get started because there is only one, and it's the greatest logo of all time, and that is the swinging friar of the San Diego Padres. That is the greatest logo ever. Or the whale. That's it.
Or when you go to get your tattoo of your favorite sports team, make sure they don't move the year after you get it.
Worst logo ever? Boston Red Sox. B.
Boston Bruins.
It's a
Philadelphia Flyers.
The Detroit was good, you know, with the thing.
That was good.
Well, there you go. We now have a sports Swass-Cast. Tell us what your best symbols are. We'd love to know. So, guys, maybe you guys should do this one.
How good!
So good!
Now I can hear you plain and clear, my friend. Would you like to play some TV Pound? Okay, well, watch your TV screen carefully and go for it. Come on, you rockets. Yes. Go, Melanie. Ooh, just missed. Yes, 3 hits, 10 seconds left. 4 hits. Good shot, Melanie. 4 hits, 5 seconds left. Go for it. Yes. Boy, oh boy, Melanie. Melanie, that was one of the hardest PAL games I've seen since I've been here, in the 3 weeks I've been here so far. That was pretty tough because you had a lot of those little ones to go for, you know what I mean?